Welcome to It's a Crime. I'm Linda, and today we're going to be diving into more surveillance in the Orrin and Orson West case. Another YouTuber, AV Watchman United We Stand, has given permission to use this video that he recorded from the neighbor's house. So thank you to AV Watchman. I will put his link in the description below. Now, I'll be showing clips from that video and we're going to expand on what's going on. But before I get into it, if you'd like to be part of the It's a Crime community, please be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to all because there's a lot more videos coming. Also, please give it a like and please share this out where you can. Now, let's get into it. So let's set the scene. It's December 21st, 2020, late afternoon. It was around 56 degrees that day in Cal City around the 5 o'clock mark. Trezell describes it as cold. Both Jaqueline and Trezell West both claim that their two little boys, Orrin and Orson, have vanished from the backyard that day as they were playing with chalk. Their four other children were at Grandma's house on vacation, according to Trezell. And also according to Trezell, Jaqueline was in the house wrapping Christmas presents while Trezell was tossing wood. And also according to Trezell and Jaqueline, that's when everything played out between 4:30 and 5 p.m.
Tell us what happened the night the kids went missing.
Okay.
From our yard.
Okay. It was cold. I was gonna make a fire. There's a lot of wood in this area right here next to our house.
Now here's where Trezell is claiming there's a lot of wood in this area right here next to our house. We've seen in various video footage how much wood is in this area. I'm questioning if he's ever made a fire in his life, because from what I see and what I saw, it's kindling, and that's it. So how long is that going to keep you warm from the cold? I mean, really. Now here's a look inside of their house. This was taken from the house listing. As you can see, there is a fireplace in the living room. The fireplace faces the front of the home on the west side. Now let's show you what actually happened on the surveillance footage. At 4:12 p.m., Trezell walks out of his house and into the backyard. He walks over to the gate and you can see him bending over. He also stands there for a few moments. He goes back and forth from one side of the gate to the other, but staying close.
I open up the back gate, I'm throwing wood, bringing it inside the house.
Now at this point, I'd like to point out that it's impossible with where he's situated that Orrin and Orson left the yard through the gate. I'm sure you would agree with that, since he's right there, right? So far. Now, you can see Trezell from 4:12 p.m., the time he came out of the house, until 4:18 doing the same motions, going back and forth on either side of the gate and then bending over doing something. Now, at 4:18, the video doesn't show him going back into the house yet, but it shows him leaving the gate. And it was a little bit difficult because AV Watchman was moving his phone, so I don't have a clear point of reference on this, but I do wonder if this is where Trezell gives space so the kids have the opportunity to go missing in their story, in my opinion. Notable, there isn't 1 ounce of footage that shows any other person entering the property, entering through that gate, entering through that backyard. Also notable, no one is leaving the front yard. Now at 4:19 p.m. it shows in the video that he is in the yard. And in 7 whole minutes, if the children are playing outside playing with chalk, they would create quite a little masterpiece though, wouldn't they? Right? A 3- and 4-year-old, lots of scribbles, having fun. Anyone out there who has kids knows how much can happen when given a crayon, a marker, or chalk in a short amount of time. So I'd love to see what the artwork actually looked like. Oh wait, what artwork? I really can't wait for the officer's body cam on this one. Now at 4:21 p.m., this is when I believe Trezell goes back in the house because it's starting to get dark and the lights turn on in the backyard.
My wife's inside. She was actually wrapping gifts, so we thought it was a good idea that our youngest two go outside and play with chalk on the back patio. Do not let them go on the dirt in the backyard. we keep them close. So I was playing with chalk, and I came in the house. I saw them there. I went in the house. I came back out. I didn't see them now. I immediately went back in, asked my wife, did you see the boys? She said, no, they should be outside playing with chalk. I said, well, I didn't see them, so I came back outside and I started searching my backyard. I searched the whole thing.
At no time in the surveillance did Trezell search the whole thing or even part of the thing at all. And let's take a look at that yard again. This yard is quite big. It does not show him going around this other building, the shed or garage, whatever it is. Doesn't show him going on the west side of the house, between the house and the fence, nothing. And that would be the areas to look if you were trying to look for, a 3 and 4 year old who's no longer in the yard. Perhaps they went on the side of the house. Where are they? And if you're searching the whole thing, then search the whole thing. But nope, not Trezell. Now, I'd also like to point this out. He was only outside in the backyard for 7 minutes at this point. His wife is allegedly wrapping presents, and he only had 7 minutes of wood to do at this point. Why wouldn't he just finish it and then his wife do the wrapping if it's just a quick gather some kindle? But no need to ask that question because this story is a bunch of you-know-what, in my opinion. Now, speaking of searching the whole backyard, the FBI made some digs in that backyard. Here's a picture. What's really odd to me are the types of holes that were dug up in the yard by the FBI. In the surveillance, he stayed over near the gate. Notable is where the holes were actually dug. So now I'm very curious as to what made them dig at that location and curious as to the types of holes they dug.
I realized that I left the gate open and I panicked, came inside the house, searched the house, me and my wife.
So at this point, Trezell was outside from 4:12 to 4:21, which is 9 minutes. Then he goes inside, allegedly to search for another 8 minutes with his wife. At 4:29 p.m., the light goes on in the front of the house and then it goes off. Here's where it gets weird. At 4:30 p.m., in the interview, Trezell says that this is where things started and played out.
At what time did you guys notice your kids went missing, and at what time were they reported missing to the police?
It's about, I think it was about 4:30, going on 5. It was getting dark, like I said.
5-ish.
5-ish. That's about it. That's when everything played out.
And coincidentally, or not coincidentally, is the time the lights start flickering on and off. For 20 seconds, the lights turn on, then off, turn on, then off, and then turn on, and then turn off. So for a total of 3 times.
No kids left the house, bro. No kids left to the back.
The lights turn on in the back now. Now it's off again. On. Off. On. What the heck?
And what's the story with him just standing there?
Off. Now they're just off.
Then 2 minutes later, the light goes on in the front. That's quite the search, right? Now, Trezell then says he panicked when the kids were gone, but then he goes into his van at 4:33 p.m. He doesn't search the front of the house, as I mentioned in previous videos. Notable, he goes in the passenger side, climbs into the driver's seat, and then drives off. He searches for 6 whole minutes and then comes back at 4:39 p.m. and calls the cops. He hangs out in the front yard for 13 minutes, and I'll reiterate Trezell's words, and that's how everything played out. And Jaqueline, as she says, is going through it.
That's about it. That's when everything played out.
We're going through it.
Notable as well, 0 searching by Jaqueline. How lazy can you be to carry out this plan? Not even an effort or a fake attempt to search. It's ridiculous. If these two are capable of this, then I ask, what have they done to these other children in their lifetime? Now, I'd also like to know if they had car seats in that van or were they too lazy to carry that out as well. Also, I want to point out, Trezell spent more time gathering kindling than he did looking for his children. And that's it.
That's about it.
So now I have some more questions, and I'm sure you guys do too. First, where are the boys? And was the visit to Grandma pre-planned or was it last minute? What were the flickering of the lights all about from his house going on and off? And why this day? Why Monday, which in a lot of cases, scary things happen on Monday in true crime for some reason. So why did they choose December 21st to be the day that they report the kids missing? Did they actually go missing earlier that day, or was it on Saturday that the kids went missing, the day they took 4 children to go to Bakersfield to see Grandma? Or is it that the children never even lived at that house? And I do wonder if it even appeared that Orrin and Orson lived in that home. Did they have laundry sitting in the basket? Was there clothing? Because a 3- and 4-year-old can go through a lot in a day. What did their bedrooms look like? So many questions. And the huge question is, besides where are the boys, is what are they lying about and why? Stay tuned for more. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and we can have a chit chat. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Please like and please share this out. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon.
And then when did you guys call the police to report them missing?
After we searched
Yeah.
a little bit around here, it was dark, so we definitely we got worried.
Once that didn't pan out, I got in the van. I looked down the street, both directions. It was getting dark, getting cold, and I got in the van and I hit a bunch of corners. I went down this street. I turned my light on. I searched. I called their names. Talked to a gentleman on the street on the other side over there. He didn't see me. So then I came home and I told my wife we need to call the cops. It's getting dark and I need help. We gotta get going.